She wasn't handed fame, yet there was always an intensity in her presence, a quiet strength behind her eyes that made every scene feel heavier, more real. Damla Sönmez didn't chase the spotlight recklessly. She built her reputation step by step, choosing depth over noise and substance over speed. You're watching Celebrity Fandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Damla Sönmez was born on May 3, 1987, in Istanbul, Turkey. From an early age, she was drawn to performance and expression. She studied at the prestigious St. Joseph French High School before continuing her education at Paris-Sorbonne University and later Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University, where she trained in theater. That academic foundation shaped her artistic discipline, giving her a technical command of performance that would later define her career. Her acting journey began in the mid-2000s with television appearances, but it was her role in the series Geisgundas that first introduced her to a wider audience. However, Damla's breakthrough came with the critically acclaimed drama Bir Aşk Hikayesi, where her emotionally layered performance proved she wasn't just another rising actress. She was a serious talent capable of carrying complex narratives. Rather than leaning into predictable roles, Damla consistently gravitated toward challenging characters. In Kükür, one of Turkey's most talked-about crime dramas, she portrayed Efsun, a character filled with emotional conflict and sharp intelligence. Her performance added depth to the series and expanded her fan base dramatically. Later, in Aziz, she once again demonstrated her ability to balance vulnerability with strength, further cementing her reputation as a versatile performer. Damla's approach to her craft reflects careful intention. She is known for immersing herself fully into her roles, prioritizing psychological realism and authenticity. Instead of chasing constant visibility, she selects projects that align with artistic value, which has earned her respect not only from audiences, but also from critics and industry insiders. Off-screen, Damla maintains a refined, yet understated public image. Fluent in multiple languages and deeply connected to theater, she represents a blend of cultural sophistication and grounded professionalism. She has collaborated with fashion and lifestyle brands, appearing at high-profile events, yet she keeps her private life guarded and controlled. Her lifestyle reflects balance and intellectual curiosity. She values artistic growth, literature, and meaningful storytelling. While her relationships have occasionally drawn media attention, she has consistently kept the focus on her work rather than personal headlines. Over the years, Damla Sönmez has built a steady and respected career in both television and film. Her earnings come from acting projects, brand partnerships, and long-term collaborations, reflecting a career built on consistency rather than hype. What truly sets her apart is artistic integrity. In an industry often driven by trends, Damla chooses evolution. She embraces emotionally demanding roles, challenges herself across genres, and prioritizes credibility over comfort. That dedication continues to define her path. As of 2026, Damla Sönmez stands as one of Turkey's most refined and compelling actresses, a performer known not just for fame, but for depth, intelligence, and enduring presence on screen. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to Celebrity Fandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. He wasn't born into fame, yet there was always something striking about him, a rare mix of intensity, vulnerability, and screen magnetism that made audiences pause and pay attention. Tolga Sarıtaş didn't simply enter Turkish entertainment. He carved his own lane, transforming early passion and discipline into one of the most respected acting careers of his generation. You're watching Celebrity Fandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Tolga Sarıtaş was born on May 30th, 1991, in Istanbul, Turkey. Long before major sets and leading roles, he showed a strong interest in the arts, particularly music and performance. He studied guitar and was deeply drawn to emotional expression from a young age, developing sensitivity and discipline that would later shape his acting style. His acting journey began with supporting roles in television and film, where he steadily refined his craft rather than seeking instant stardom. Early appearances allowed him to build emotional control, realism, and on-screen confidence. His true breakthrough came with his portrayal of Sait Saad Sahanger in the historical epic Matizim Yüzyıl, where his performance stood out for its emotional fragility and depth, earning both audience admiration and critical praise. Rather than becoming confined to historical roles, Tolga pushed himself further. He gained massive popularity with his lead performance as Yavuz in Günsin Kızları, followed by intense and emotionally demanding roles in Saz, Baba, and other dramatic projects. In Saz, his portrayal of a soldier struggling with duty, loss, and leadership solidified his reputation as a powerful dramatic lead capable of carrying complex narratives. Tolga's approach to roles reflects precision and intention. He consistently chooses characters that challenge him emotionally and psychologically, avoiding repetition even when certain formulas guarantee success. This balance between popularity and depth has allowed him to remain relevant in a highly competitive industry. Off-screen, Tolga's public image blends sincerity with restraint. He avoids unnecessary controversy, maintains a respectful distance from constant exposure, and focuses on craft rather than spectacle. His presence feels grounded, reinforcing the authenticity audiences see on screen. His lifestyle mirrors his professional discipline. He values structure, mental focus, and creative balance, often emphasizing personal growth over public validation. Music continues to play an important role in his life, serving as both an emotional outlet and a grounding force. Tolga's influence now extends beyond Turkish television. With strong international viewership through global streaming platforms and a dedicated fan base, he has become one of Turkey's most recognizable and reliable male leads. His estimated net worth reflects steady earnings from acting, endorsements, and long-term collaborations, built through consistency rather than sudden hype. What truly sets him apart is emotional honesty. Tolga brings vulnerability to strength, silence to power, and depth to every role he inhabits. He allows audiences to feel his characters rather than simply watch them. As of 2026, Tolga Sarıtaş stands not only as a leading actor, but as a symbol of intentional growth and emotional realism in modern Turkish entertainment. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to Celebrity Fandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.